television and eventually became Dawson's dad. Now he's playing Henry on it, which just kind of makes him his own father. But let's be honest, we all really remember him because he was Bastian's dad in Neverending Story 2. Please join me in welcoming to the stage, Mr. John Wesley Shipp! In addition, through the wonders of technology, if you turn your attention to the big screens either side, we have some eye candy, Mr. Rick Cosnett joining us.
How are we going?
Oh, there he is. Good.
Hey, personal.
John!
Hello, how are you, Rick?
I'm good, thank you. I start talking American whenever I see American.
Alright.
But I really want to talk like New Zealander because they do have a police accents.
Well, that's fantastic coming from Zimbabwe.
Yeah,
Now,
don't mate. This is incredible. I'm from a small farm in Zimbabwe, so this whole technology thing really freaks me out, actually.
Alright, Rick, just be careful. I'm just going to show you the audience. Hang on.
Don't front, Rick Cosnett. Oh no, we just lost Rick.
Oops. They did it yesterday on the Arrow panel with no problems. What did I do? Thank you. This will be the last time I'm on an Armageddon stage. Okay, in the meantime, while we're trying to revive them, don't go towards the light! I've got a question here. Can I have my two mic guys please standing in the middle of the rows there? Where are you? Excellent, put your hands up. You got a question for John or for Rick? When we get them back. Just line up behind one of these two people there, Raoul and Phyllis. I keep forgetting your name, I'm so sorry. And of course, let's get this panel underway. Oh, we got him back.
He's back. Get into it.
Thank you.
Wonderfully intimate. You guys, you're actually in my living room right now, so I'm drinking water, I promise you that Saturday night.
So, do we have a first question? Yeah, okay, I'm sorry, I'll explain it again. If you got a question for any of our guests, just go stand over by our microphone guy, make you work your way over there. Go to him for this one, so we'll make it quick. Form up a line.
Hi, this is a question for Rick. What has it been like for you going into your character Eddie Thorne, considering it's like the only character on the show that isn't already like in the comics or inspired by someone in the comics? How's that been like for you?
Confusing. Yeah, it was kind of amazing because I sort of built this character around a lot of different kind of laws that comic book stories that I had read before. Because I didn't really know who this guy was, and the writers don't like to tell you a whole lot before. So, at first I thought maybe he could be a bad guy, he could be this, he could be that, but I did sit down with the producers, and the one thing that was really smart of them to do with Eddie was to make him really nice and really just like a good person, and kind of the opposite of what you think he's going to be. Because I can very easily play a dick, unfortunately. And I was kind of going in that territory in the auditions, and they were the ones who steered me back to making Eddie so wonderfully lovely, and then we kind of just broke everyone's hearts by killing him because he was so nice. Yeah. But that doesn't really answer your question at all. But you know, I didn't really know exactly, and I still don't exactly where Eddie's going to go. But they have said that they will probably have me back. I just don't know if I'm going to be good or bad, and I guess that's the wonderful mystery that intrigues all of us, and that's a question I get asked on a daily basis.
Thank you very much.
That's the polite way of putting it. As actors, the mystery that intrigues all of us. That goes for our entire careers. We never know what's happening next.
You don't, and the trick is just not to be terrified, just to kind of roll with it, and always think that you're going on to something better.
Hi, I've got a question for both of you. Since both of your characters have had an exit in either season 1 or 2, do they have a bigger role to play later in season 2 that you know of?
Well, Rick's alluded to the fact that he'll be back. I was always hoping throughout the first season that there was more to Henry Allen than we knew. I had many questions, like why when he heard about the man in the yellow suit was there no reaction? You know, why when his son could go back and went back to the scene of the crime and comes back, there are no questions. He says, no, you can't do it. So I was already trying to plant the seed that there's a little bit darker story to Henry. I don't think it's taken root in this version, but I keep hoping. But, you know, I think Rick alluded to this, and a lot of it is based on what you guys want. They're constantly combing social media, but I know that I will be back. I've already done some work that's coming up. But, you know, it evolves. We may be told one thing at the beginning of a season, but based on what you guys are responding to and what works on screen, you know, it may develop into something entirely different. So, you know, what you think matters. Don't think that you're unseen in this process.
Yeah. And a lot of the time also stuff that we do with our characters and the way that scenes go with us, they'll sort of take that and run with that. Which Jesse always said, you know, it's true, if you make a strong choice about something, then they, you know, as John Wesley was saying, sometimes they will roll with that because it gives them some juice and some ideas, because, you know, at the same time they're having to write 22 really riveting episodes and they really want to play to your strengths. So
yeah, piggybacking on that, you know, Grant in the first episode, of course, in the prison scene, and I can say this because Grant just said it in an interview, they discovered that Grant could cry. And he's like, I'm looking forward to the day when someone else cries on camera. You know, it's like, well, I don't have to do that heavy lifting. So yeah, they are looking to see what you can do. Be careful what choice you make, because if you do it well, you'll be repeating it.
yes. Like doing a lot of explaining dialogue. Don't do that well. You have to fuck that up in the first part.
If you could play any superhero or supervillain, excluding Flash, who would you want to play?
Would that be me or Rick? Oh, Rick, you take it.
Superhero or supervillain. The first thing that came to mind was she's not even, you know, April from Ninja Turtles? Don't play the first thing that comes into your head yet with me. I was born in April and I was just obsessed with April. That's my answer.
For me, well, you know, you mentioned that I'm now playing my own father. I also voiced an episode of Batman the Brave and the Bold, in which I was Professor Zoom. So I've been Barry, I've been my own worst enemy, and now I'm my father. So I don't know, maybe if there's another character in that universe that I could play.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's a little late for that.
Actually, kind of a lead on because with the Earth 2, how the same characters exist in the other world. I was just going to say, if you were able to be a character from Earth 2 coming into the Flash series, what would you like your characters to be? Like, how would you like to portray them if you had the choice?
That's an awesome question. I'm just obsessed with your accents. I can't get enough. And now I'm going on a completely different tangent. Sorry, before I answer that question, what's that amazing New Zealand TV series where the mum's always smoking and...
Outrageous Fortune.
Yes, Outrageous Fortune! Anyway,
All of New Zealand is just like that, either hobbits, or we smoke, drink, and steal stuff.
oh my gosh, speaking of generalization, sorry. So, I think, I love that concept, and I know Jesse wants to come back as like a homeless man or something. Joe did not make it. And I would love to be something completely different, like maybe I'm doing like stand-up shows at like a CD bar.
Karaoke.
Yeah, karaoke. Maybe Eddie's really a drag queen.
I'm sensing a theme. April O'Neil, drag queen.
Yeah, no, you are.
I was very intrigued in the flashes that they did at the end of season 1, where Barry is seen for a second in prison, because I'm used to seeing him on the other side of that glass, and that made me think, okay, if Barry's in prison, where's Henry? I would like to come back as the opposite of this very good, supportive person that they've decided. Jeff Johns told me that Henry Allen is the heart of that show, particularly first season. And I'd like to come back and explore some darker possibilities.
That's all. That's a better answer.
I really brought the room down. Everything just went quiet.
Just quickly, sorry, because this is my first time thinking in real life. How long do you...
Right now, but I'm gonna be sincere, because I have no other answer. I am genuinely in awe of this 24-year-old man who has so much talent and so much truth, sense of truth, almost unerring sense of truth, sensitivity. He can play the young, goofy side of Barry, he can play the romantic lead, and he can turn around and break your heart. I mean, what more could you ask? And he has a physicality because of his dance training. He can bust moves that I couldn't perform in or out of the suit. So I am, after 24 years of representing the Flash, I'm very proud and delighted to be handing it off to Grant Gustin.
Rick, what do you think of him?
As if you could hate Grant, the only way you could hate Grant was if you were jealous of him, because, like, damn, how are you so good? And such a great person, and just want to hang out with all the time. Yeah, he really is. I mean, you really do just fall in love with this guy. He's just so, as you said, John, talk about truthful and honest, not only in his work, but in his life. He's a very authentic guy, and he really, just has made this show so magical, and we're just all so lucky to have someone so grounded and connected and funny and fun and full of life to kind of really steer the ship, because the lead of the show, often steers the ship in whatever direction it goes. And so that's why we've been so lucky. And, John was so amazing in his TV show. And I think, it's just kind of a perfect takeover, and of course John's still involved, so yeah, I mean, I just love the whole thing. I love it. And, you know, The Flash is just, it's back in such a big way, and it's a classic. And I'm so happy and proud to be a part of it. It's really cool.
All right, this is a question for John. In the late 90s, there was a lot of talk around how Dawson's Creek was really autobiographical from Kevin Williamson's sort of childhood. Do you have any insight or input into that?
Yes, I think that's absolutely right. And one of the reasons that, you know, it became such a pop culture hit, and anything that goes up that high inevitably has to come down and then find its way back up, which is sort of where I think it is now. But we tend to forget that at the very beginning, there had been nothing that sounded like this on television. I was not the original father. They shot the pilot presentation with another actor, and when they decided to go a different direction, I watched it and I thought, wow, this is a new way of telling stories for young people. We're not writing down to them. I remember once Glenn Close said, well, kids don't talk like that, and Kevin Williamson, without skipping a beat, said, maybe not, but they'd like to. You know, so we're writing up to an audience, and that was Kevin. A lot of it was, you know, Kevin is a very quirky, interesting, and super intelligent guy with his own kind of perception on life. I think one of the problems when Kevin left the show was he really was the voice of Dawson. And for a while after Kevin left, they were struggling not to imitate simply that voice, but to find it. I think they got it back, but it struggled a bit because Kevin was the voice of Dawson. I remember that one scene where Dawson wants to kiss Jen, but he's got a prosthetic head of Joey, and he comes to his dad, how do you kiss a girl? You know, and we don't know that Joey has slipped in the window, is listening from the balcony above, and we're at the table, and so I'm saying, okay, practice on this prosthetic head of Joey. Now think of that construct, and she's watching. So she's in love with Dawson. She's watching me instructing Dawson how to practice to kiss Jen on a prosthetics head of herself. That's Kevin Williamson at his finest.
That's awesome. That's fascinating. I love Dawson's Creek, but I'm just sitting here like,
Sorry.
There's still time.
Next question.
I'm 6 years old and I love The Flash.
hi, because Muslim. That was a statement.
If like the Flash universe crossed over with any other like universe, superhero or not, what would you want it to be? Both of you.
That's a good one. I think I would love it to cross over into Gotham City, and, into Batman. That would be insane.
Have you guys seen the Supergirl pilot yet? Has that aired? It is. I won't do any. Is she not awesome? And Callista Flockhart, is she not turning it out as the editor of that newspaper? I mean, that is a fantastic. I was mesmerized by that pilot, and I'd love to do an exchange with that cast.
Hi, this is Rank. Your character on Quantico is a bit of a troublemaker, and you've got a great costume. Those pants are fantastic. I was just wondering what drew you to that character.
My friend sent me a picture before it came out. She found online of me in Monaco, and she just said at the bottom, "That ass." I was like, oh my gosh. I think it's full on. Like the clothes are very tight. But sorry, what was your question?
What drew you to the character, other than the pants?
Other than the pants, which I did not know I was going to wear before that. Basically, you know, I thought it was really well written. I mean, all I got was an audition scene, really. And I just loved, I thought it was really well written, and that Elias was hilarious. And like a character I'd never played on television before, was so different from the one I was playing in The Flash. And yeah, it's just, I realized that, you always want to use parts of yourself in characters. And I realized I had this kind of crazy little kind of cat who was just like wanting to come out. And that was Elias for sure. And so it's been a lot of fun playing someone who's really smart and really, kind of fast talking and his little whippet. I just am in love with him. I'm really having so much fun. So, yeah, there's lots more to come actually. The one that's airing this Sunday in the States is a big one for Elias. And he goes through this really big journey in quite a short space of time. It's also good.
Thank you.
Cool.
Hi. I would just like to know what was it like to go from the abusive father in Teen Wolf to act as the loving father in The Flash?
It's an actor's dream, it really is. I call it, my specialty is superheroes and psychopaths and very little in between. I got it early on. I got to break type really early. My first job was playing a really good guy on a soap, and I got to follow that up with a good guy that proceeded all the way out into psychopaths. And it's kind of been back and forth. Certainly, it was great fun. I had great fun with Daniel Sharman doing that. All right, in that kitchen scene. I have to tell this story. I think it was so precious, because he didn't quite know. I mean, we were feeling out what we were going to do with it, and my take on it was, well, let's have Mr. Leahy be the concerned parent up until the point where he flips the glass and it crashes on the floor, And then, of course, at the end, he almost blinds. At the end of that first take, I'm smashing glasses in the villain. He came over to me and he said, "Man, you are scaring the shit out of me." So that was a lot of fun. And the heartfelt moments between Grant, I wouldn't trade for anything. To be able to know that you don't even have to run lines, but the fact that you played the character he's playing, he knows you have, you know what he's going through. So you show up and your backstory is done. And you just have to learn the lines and show up and talk to each other. It's an experience I wouldn't have wanted to miss. Feel free to applaud. Go ahead.
You're sharing a universe where people have quite dramatic superpowers and they're able to do amazing things. If you were in a universe where everyone had some sort of mundane ability, what would your mundane superpower be? And he's laughing because I asked him this last night. So I've had someone answer the ability to have perfect power naps or the ability to always find a parking space. Some small ability like that.
You're cleverer than I am, Rick. You take that.
But okay. Mine probably be the ability to never worry, to be worryless, maybe to be just constantly stoned. Yeah, that sense of like, it's all good. It's gonna be awesome. Like, it's all gonna work out, and like, everything's gonna be fine. Because I don't feel like that very often.
Right. It's funny, anybody who's on my Facebook page, first of all, I apologize. I'm very active and very, whatever I see in world events that comes out, it explodes onto my page. That's why I keep it a personal page, and most of my professional stuff is done on Twitter. A lot of people get very upset by the fact that I am speaking politically. I'll talk about religion, I'll talk about ethics. And I guess the power I would want is to be able to be intense and passionate about these things without alienating people. That we could all show up and have different opinions, hold them passionately, express them intensely, and nobody has to leave the building. You don't have to go directly to jail. We're all part of God's family, and we get to all be here. That's not mundane, but that's the power I would want.
present and alive. We do need to discuss these things openly, you know.
Sorry, I just brought the room down again. Next question.
It's good. We're thinking about things, not just saying silly things like I do.
Hello. This is for John. How do you manage to be part of the 2014 Flash series?
How did that come about?
Yes.
It's very funny. Tom Cavanaugh, they asked him that at Comic-Con San Diego, and he said, well, they backed up the Brinks truck and they started unloading the money truck. They started unloading it. That was not my experience. No, I had heard that they were going to finally get a new incarnation after falling in and out of development countless times. Ryan Reynolds was going to be the Flash. This one was going to be, blah, blah, blah. Finally getting it done, had the perfect guy, Grant Gustin, and then I heard what Jeff Johns had done to the Allen family. You know, how he had exploded, blown up the Allen family. Suddenly, Henry is in jail, convicted of wrongfully convicted of killing Nora in front of a 10-year-old Barry. You know, Emmett Walsh, who played my father, did not kill my mother in front of a 10-year-old me. So I thought, you know, if they come to me, that's the part I would want. And shortly after that, they came and they offered it to me. You know, I eagerly accepted.
Thank you. Hi. What was it like to go from the old version of Flash to the new version of Flash?
Well, you know, it was long enough ago. It was, you know, a quarter of a century ago. But, so I had sort of put that in its place. The fact that it has had an extended life, I'm incredibly grateful for, because all we got was 22, 23 episodes. You know, it came out on DVD in 2006. But it was a natural progression. I tell people, if there's any value for me being in the new show, it's that the fact that I have played Barry Allen allows me to play Henry Allen better.
So cool that you're in a new show. Yeah, it's really cool what they've done. And I think that's the thing with them. They always aim really high. You know, I noticed in the writers and producers that they really feel like anything's possible, and that's the theme of the whole show. Pretty cool.
I have a question for both of you. First, John, being the Flash back in the day, did you give Grant tips on how to be the Flash, how to act him and play him?
No, that young man needs no help from me. You know, they asked me the same thing on Dawson's Creek. They said, the younger actors, you're the elder statesman on the set. And they said, do you give advice? I said, oh God, I hope not, because that would be insufferable. You know, certainly Grant and I have talked about it, and if he feels like talking about it, he doesn't need to anymore, because now I have no experience with where he is. Now, he is in the second season, the only second season, live action second season of a Flash that we've ever had. So he's in a whole new land, you know, that I have no experience with. But at the beginning, you know, he was feeling his way into it, and he said at Comic-Con this last year that I had told him two things. One was that he had been cast for the right reasons. Know that you've been cast for the right reasons, and trust yourself, you know, and beyond that, it's like, you know what, he makes me better than I am. When I do a scene with Grant, I'm more emotionally present, you know, so it's always, I'm learning from him, you know, as well.
My question for Rick is, why didn't you come to New Zealand?
Because I had to come back to Film Quantico. They called me back early, and I was absolutely devastated. And I should have started with this, but I really am sad I didn't get to come and meet you guys, because I really was looking forward to it. I've never been to New Zealand before, and I'm going to have to come back. I'm going to have to try and come back, but I'm telling you, I was so stressed out because they moved everything And I thought I was hoping, I would start on next Tuesday, and all my big scenes were filmed on Friday, and so I was a complete mess. I was on a plane, flying back, having to learn 3 massive scenes, massive monologues, and then they changed it the night before and the morning off. So I've had a traumatic few days. But I got through it, and I'm just kind of happy that I'm still alive, let alone in New Zealand.
Rick, do you know when that airs? When does that episode air? Because I know we'll all want to tune in and see. When does that? Do you know? How far ahead are you of your air dates?
Yeah. So we're doing episode 9 right now. So look out for episode 9. We're stressed out. But it's very fast-paced, and everything's kind of coming to a head in Monaco right now. And it's very cool. My new, I don't even read it a few years ago, I'm playing a big part in the storyline. So it's cool. But thank you. But there's so many people that it affects on a set that you unfortunately are not the only one who the schedule, revolves around. So I just had to take this one on the chin. So, but I'm really sorry I couldn't be there. But you guys get to be inside my living room, so that's you get to see me being unveiled.
Your natural habitat.
Maybe I should.
My question is actually for both of you. What is the one TV program or one person that you would go, I'd drop anything to be in an episode of that series or that movie, doesn't matter if it's Christmas Day, I'll come in now kind of thing?
There's so many. I would House of Cards, The Good Wife. Anything with amazing acting on it, I'm just drawn to like a magnet. I'm fascinated by. I want to be them. I want to be as good as them, and I just something in me, just crying with passion for it.
Yeah, those two would be high on my list. Also, when it was running, Newsroom, anything by Aaron Sorkin, those characters are so wonderful. I have an ambivalent feeling about ever working with Al Pacino because I so revere him. In fact, I'm going to see him. He's on Broadway right now in a limited run. And I remember I was walking down 9th Avenue when I was doing Dancing at Lotus on Broadway, and I saw him walking up with 2 bodyguards, and I was so flummoxed I had to cross the street. I couldn't walk, I couldn't sing, So although I think it would, if I could keep it together, I think there would be a lot to learn from him, but he would be #1 on my wish list to work with. Thank you.
Which character in Dancing at Lotus did you play?
Dancing at Lotus, I was Jerry Evans. I was the Welsh wastrel.
Yes, the father.
And I'm going to Wales the end of next month, so I get to see how good or how bad my South Walian accent was.
Hi, my question for both of you is, what would be your favourite line your character has ever seen on The Flash, and why?
While he's thinking, I love the moment, and for those of you who were in my panel yesterday, talk amongst yourselves, because I answered this yesterday, but the moment in the infirmary after Henry gets shanked after working with Joe on the inside, and I'm sitting there with him, and I have the newspaper, the picture of the Flash, and Henry knows, and he shows it to Barry, and he says, look, the Flash, and he says something about the fact that he saved Joe, lucky Joe, I guess I'm lucky too, he saved me, I'm waiting for him to say, he said, don't you think if I were the Flash that I would tell you? And then Henry says, yeah, well, if the Flash were my son, I'd tell him a few things. I'd tell him to be careful, it's a dangerous world out there. I'd tell him he's a hero, he's saving a lot of lives, but most of all, I'd tell him that I'm proud, And what I loved about that moment, and Barry just kind of looks at him, does not confess, is that Henry knows, but he doesn't force a confession. You know, he opens the door for when Barry's ready to tell him, and then Barry walks through it in the Trickster episode. You know, after he saves me from the Trickster's lair, he takes on that wonderful moment where he takes off the cow's like, gee, Dad, look what I can do.
Well, mine would be, when I say speak to him, there is no such thing as a coincidence. It, you know, to me, it was so profound because all the different kinds of things happen, and he not only in love, but everything that you just took first. And I think that's why it was so fascinating about me. Flash stories, this whole different timelines, and you know, going faster. That and in life, I think
Is there something? Do you have a mic or something? You're breaking up. That's what I'm reacting to.
Is it? But no, there's nothing. This is so fun. I thought for a brief second, this is the sound though.
We can see you in the reflection, so just...
You can see me in the reflection. So don't do anything. Is that better? Okay, good. Where was I?
There's no such thing as a coincidence.
That's exactly right. So this happened for a reason. Find out later. But you do, you know, so that everything bad, everything negative in your life kind of happens because it's setting you up for something better, or you know, that we're all connected, that the whole universe is kind of connected, and that line was so wonderful, and very subtly played by myself. It meant a lot to me. And actually, one of my favorite scenes as well was when Iris and I were in the bowling alley with Barry and his new chick, and I just love the tension between seeing Barry and Iris finally flirting out of control and Eddie finally just losing it. I just really, got off on that. I loved it. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you. This is for John. What's it been like playing the Flash in the 1990s to playing the Flash's dad?
Well, it's like I said before, I think playing the Flash prepared me for playing the Flash's dad. And someone asked me yesterday, what is your dream role? And I said, the next one. You know, so I'm loving playing Henry Allen. Of course, it's a lot easier. When I was the Flash, I had to do the heavy lifting, because you're playing two roles. You're in the suit or you're out of the suit. So you're there the entire time. I was there 55 to 80 hours a week, every week, you know. Now, as I said, I get to come in and do these heartfelt moments and then see you know, so that's kind of fun.
Hi, my question is for Rick.
I think I was talking to the wrong person. I meant to be talking to you, right? Sorry, man. No disrespect intended.
My question is for Rick. Was it the plan from the beginning for Eddie to die, and what was your reaction when you found out?
No, it wasn't the plan at all. You know, I hadn't signed on for like 5 years, so it was like, okay, you know, blah, blah, blah. And then one day the producer asked me to have breakfast with him.
Always a bad sign.
That's strange. Now Jesse keeps saying, like, you know, every time someone wants to have breakfast with you, you're like, no, I'm not hungry. Yeah, Jesse is one of the funniest people, and it's so cool because a lot of, you know, the Flash cast is still some of my really close friends. But yeah, it was a shock to me because I didn't see it coming, and you know, I was really upset, and we all were, because you know, we all become so close, and we sort of knew that that we weren't really going to see each other that much anymore. And so I didn't really have to act for the rest of the season, because we sort of almost brought us closer together, and then it kind of made the show even better. And it also, you know, everyone was so heartbroken when I died. It's kind of cool. Like, everyone, you know, just grown men come up to me and like, I never, like, you made me cry. It really added an amazing element to the story, you know, because now, you know, you're kind of like, well, anyone can die, and people do die, and yeah, it's kind of this epic story. I remember I was obsessed with Thunder Sub. I don't know if anyone, no one remembers it, because I lived in Zimbabwe, in the bush. We had like one cartoon, Thunder Sub, and one of the characters was called Rick, and he died really like dramatically in a mistake. And it was, I'm telling you, there was a girl called April. It was like looking after him, she was really pretty, beautiful. And then he died, and I was in grade 3, and I told everyone the next day that I had acted in the cartoon, and they believed me. So my dream came true. It really did. But yeah, so I hope that answers the question. But yeah, it was really cool to kind of go through that journey, and you know, now I'm on another show, and I'm really grateful for that whole experience. So, you know, maybe there really is no such thing as a coincidence.
Thank you.
Pleasure.
Hi, my question is for John. Do you still have your Flash suit?
Oh God, no. You wouldn't want to be anywhere near that thing, trust me. Because briefly they had, you know, it was two-piece construction plus the gloves. Now they have an undersuit and a shell that he puts on over it. The important point being they can wash the undersuit. They couldn't clean these 4 suits that they built at a cost of $100,000 in 1990. So there were 2 for me, 2 for the stuntman. They just hang them in my trailer and spray them with Lysol. They'd still be wet and sticky at 5 a.m. the next morning, whatever it was. It's kind of miserable. I always tell people, the last I heard of, someone told me that half of one of them was in a plexiglass case in a Planet Hollywood in Orlando, and it kind of made me know I'm that close to people's food. Hermetically sealed.
What was it actually made out of?
It was foam latex, individually sculpted muscle pieces glued to a spandex suit, and then they sent an electromagnetic charge through the foam latex and flocked it with the red material. I'd have it on for 20 minutes and the muscles would be sweating. So I thought it was cool. They said it's not true to the comic books. The Flash doesn't sweat. So they sprayed it with a sealant.
Wow. That's fascinating.
And kind of gross at the same time.
Yeah.
This question's for Rick. When you're on Vampire Diaries, vampires had super speed, and on Flash there's super speed. If you could choose between being the Flash or a vampire, which would you choose?
Oh my gosh. I mean, wouldn't you just want to be this super villain vampire? That would really be the ultimate, I think. And I'm surprised they haven't done it yet. Being a super villain that's a vampire, maybe there is one. There probably is one out there. But to be honest, I would probably rather be Flash, even though he has his problems. I mean, man, he's got issues. We all do. And, you know, with vampires, they're always hungry and they're like, oh, I don't want to kill anyone, you know, but I have to eat. And like, that would suck, and then you have to live forever. You can only come out at night. Like, I don't know, it's a bit of a toss-up, but I would definitely say the Flash.
This is a question for both. Are you going to see the new Star Wars movie?
Definitely. I haven't been, but I will be going. Simply because I have to tell Mark how much I love it, how much I will love it.
And what's your favorite bit of it, of all Star Wars?
I am now. That's awesome. Is Mark in the new one?
Yes? Yeah, when we were on The Flash together, he said, how often do you get to revisit a project 25 years later and hand it off to the next generation?
Hi.
This is a question for Rick. What was your favourite moment in shooting The Flash?
Maybe my punch Barry. I think that was a long time coming. And Grant's so good at reacting to a punch that it was so fun.
Your punch was awesome, man. I've thrown a lot of punches in my career.
And it was also, it was that there was so much love between the two characters that it made the hurt even worse. Even though, Barry was just kind of one of those, that crazy anger thing. But yeah, that would have been one of my favorite moments. And also doing the pilot, doing the first episode, which we usually shoot about 5 months before, and to see if it goes to series or not. So that was the magical moment. Was the first day of shooting at a cafe in Vancouver that was dressed up like it was Jitters, which is now in a studio. And being outside that first day, and there was paparazzi everywhere, and we were at a table outside, and Iris comes along and kisses me, and then we see this Barry's puppy dog face in between us. That was really cool, knowing that the director of that episode had directed Game of Thrones and X-Files, and it's pretty fucking awesome. Yeah.
David Nutter, who just won an Emmy for, as we know, for an episode of Game of Thrones. Yeah, he's one of our producers. He's directed our pilot, set the tone, and a couple of our episodes.
Okay, so we've got time for one last question, and sorry, I'm going to steal it because it's up to John. So John, what's coming up at the moment? What sort of projects have you got going? You were talking about a radio western that's coming up.
Yeah, I did this cool, I've never done a radio western before. It's called Powder Birds. We just had Robert Vaughn as a guest star. We have 4 episodes up on iTunes, or you can go to powderbirdswestern.com. We've been nominated for, I think, 3 or 4 Voice Performance Arts Awards, a ceremony that's being held in November in LA, where William Shatner's being honored, and a couple of others. And I'm going back, when I get back to New York, I'm shooting a thriller called Night Sweats with Allison Mackey that's shooting actually in Manhattan. So I'm looking forward to that.
That's not a story about you and your first Flash suit?
That was all day long sweats.
Excellent. Well, Auckland, please join me in thanking our special guest, all the way by Skype from London. And of course, in the Flash, Thomas and Shep. Stick around, I believe, coming up next is the Supernatural panel. Is it 12? No, it's 1. Sorry, sorry. I take that back. I've got an hour ahead of myself again. I've got to go back in time, much like the Flash. It'll be the Game of Thrones Harry Potter panel with the lovely talented Natalia Tenner. Don't go anywhere. franchise, and of course was Osha in Game of Thrones. And please put your hands together and give a warm Kiwi welcome to Natalia Tena.
Thank you. That was such a lovely introduction. Thank you. Oh, am I just going to be left alone? Okay, cool. Hi guys, how are you all? You good? Yeah? Awesome. I'm here to answer any questions that you might want. So please don't feel shy. And go ahead. Who's going to have the first question for me? Anyone?
There we go. Over here we've got a Harry Potter fan.
I can't see anyone.
Over here to your left.
Oh, hello, yes.
Aside from being Tonks, who is your favourite character in Harry Potter?
Who's my favourite? I like Emma Thompson's character. What's her name? That one. That's my favourite, definitely.
Okay, if you've got a question, please line up behind our two mic people right there.
There's a mic here. Do you want to bring this one?
And we've got another one over here. And I'll float around and find people as well. Right here in the front row, please stand up tall. And what's your question?
How did you react when you heard you're going to be in Harry Potter?
When I found out I was going to be in Harry Potter?
Yeah.
Well, that's the thing. I hadn't read any of the books or seen the films. But I was really excited because, you know, by the time that I had auditioned, the second time, I had read them. Because the first time I didn't know what was going on. I thought Voldemort was a country. So that's how well the audition went. But the second one, I definitely got it, and I was really excited just to be part of it. And I was in Ireland, and I found out when I was on a beach and I had really bad reception. And I was like, my agent's telling me something important. I think, did I get the part? I don't know. So I had to wait till I had this excitement building up and I had to get on a train all the way back to Dublin. And it's only then I found out. So it's pretty amazing, but it's only when I kind of then got into the world and I went there. And when I went to the first premiere, that's when I realised, wow, people really like this. A lot. A lot of people are watching it, you know?
Hi. I'm a Hufflepuff, and I know Tonks is, and I was wondering what house you're in.
I've been asked this a lot, and I've realised I think it's a bit like it's a weekly thing, depending on what time of the month it is. Do you know what I mean? So at the moment, I think I'm hitting Slytherin. I'm hitting hard, like next few days.
Hi. I want to know, what was your favourite thing about filming in Harry Potter?
The broomstick stuff was amazing. Like the first day when you walk into this place, you get your arse plaster casted, which is really weird. You're like, hey, welcome to Harry Potter land. Can you sit on this thing? And I'm like, this is weird. And then they did my face, and I realised it's so that when you sit on the broom, it's really comfortable. It's amazing. And you're really high up, and it's kind of like those theme park mechanical things, so it does actually move. Really cool. And there's like 3 really hot men like blowing wind at you. And you're really like, this is amazing. It's great.
Hi.
I'm sorry.
They're either going to be
Okay, thank you. Yes.
and we'll alternate for you.
Awesome, thank you. It's a bit slow today.
Do you prefer acting on set or performing in a band, and will Molotov Jukebox ever come to New Zealand?
Oh, I literally want to come with Molotov Jukebox here so much. I just think it's such a fantastic place. I went to Wahiki Island and I chatted to some of the awesome, tried some amazing wines on Thursday. And Stone Ridge and Cable Bay, I think, put on bands. I mean, that would be my dream, really. Play in a vineyard in that beautiful landscape. Fantastic. But to answer your question, sorry, I need both. So if I start doing one too much, at the moment this year, we're just about to finish the second album. When I get back, I'm going to do my vocals, and then it's done. And then Tropical Gypsy comes out in April. So this year I've been doing so much music that I'm kind of really craving to be someone else and do some acting. You know what I mean? It's like, it's Veers. I remember now, yes. Hello.
Hi.
Hello again.
I was just wondering, who is your favourite person you've ever worked with?
most have a massive connection with is, you guys won't, I don't think many of you will know, but basically I'm Spanish, and I did my first ever Spanish film 2 years ago. It's called 10,000 Kilometers, and it's about a long distance relationship, with kind of Skype being the third character in a way. And so it was just me and this guy, and his name is David Verdaguer, and he is like, I mean, I had to do a lot of intimate shit with this guy. You know, and so before I took the job, I was like, he has to meet me, because if he doesn't like me, you know, it's not going to work. And the moment we met, he's like a kind of Spanish Woody Allen. He's really neurotic. He's also a stand-up comedian. And and then the director as well, Carlos Marquez Marcet. Like, we have such a strong bond, and hopefully we'll be making a new film soon. And hopefully it will always be that family. Great.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi there. It's actually a complete coincidence that you're here, because my sister is one of the lead singers of Electric Spin Circus.
Oh, wow!
Yeah.
Amazing! Give my love, please.
But my question is, have you ever had a role that you've regretted doing?
A role I've regretted doing? Not really, like, because even there was one job once, I'm not going to talk about it, it's so depressing, but I had a really hard time. It was horrific. I mean, I've done a lot of weird jobs. I've cleaned hotels at like 5 in the morning, like toilets, and like for hours on end, and that was worse than all the bad jobs I've done in my life. But it also made me, you learn something. Do you know what I mean? That's such a good thing to have. It's like, okay, I've learned this about myself and about the craft, and so it's always learning, right? So I think it's good. Thank you.
My question is, if you could do any scene out of the Harry Potter books and put it in a movie, what would it be?
If I could do it?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know. I can't remember though, I'm sorry. What, you mean like it that wasn't included in the film?
Yeah.
I would have liked to have, you know, had more fights with Death Eaters, personally, and what do they call it? Yes, those ones. Yeah, and I'd like to have had the scene of that. I think it's in the book. That would have been cool.
Hello, I would like to know if you could combine any two universes, like Game of Thrones or Harry Potter, which one would you combine?
Awesome question. Batman. Batman's banging. Batman. Wow. You know, your brain just goes, I don't know. All I'm thinking about now is capital cities for some reason. Like, you asked that, and I'm like, all I can think, I don't know why, all I can think of is Walking Dead. So I'm like, I don't know how that would work, like zombie Batman would be terrifying. Yeah, why not? That's an answer, isn't it? Alright, thanks. Look at this cute little thing.
What's your favourite Harry Potter book and movie?
Okay, good question. I think my favourite Harry Potter book is the last one. Because I couldn't wait for it to come out. I was so excited. And in fact, the day it came out and the day I started reading it, I was meant to go and see my mate's play. She was, you know, it's a big thing, her first, you know, play, and I lied. I said I had to study, or I can't remember what, I just lied. I apologise later, but I just stayed in and read the book. I couldn't, I was like, I don't want to go on the tube, I just want to stay at home and read my book. So that one, and then I think the best movie for me is the first, just because it's such a beautiful introduction, and it's still quite light, it hasn't got dark yet, and I really like kind of learning about the houses and all that stuff, you know? Thank you.
Yeah, I've got questions of Game of Thrones. It's been a couple of years since your character was last in the show,
yeah.
But what was it you most liked about being on the show, and who did you like acting the most with? And one last thing is, when will we see your character again?
That I can't tell you, obviously, unfortunately. The first question, so what did I like most about, I really liked skinning rabbits. I mean, because it was so weird, like, today I'm going to skin rabbits. And it was, I don't know, I was a bit daunted by it, but then it was actually fine.
Is that where the hat came from?
Yeah, why not? Can't bother to buy shit, just kill it. Skin it. So I really love that, but I really have made some great friends. Like Una Chaplin was one of my best women in my life, and I met her at the hotel in Belfast, and I was like, this woman is amazing. There's so many great humans that work on it that are just phenomenal, so I've made a lot of great friends.
What was it like acting with Sean Bean?
I didn't. I wasn't in any scenes with him. Sorry. I know it seems like we're all in the world, but actually they're quite separate. Like, I've only just met Keisha yesterday, even though we're in the same series. It's pretty weird. But that's how it is. It's kind of all filmed very separately. But I'm sure he's banging. I'm sure he's lovely. Hello.
Hi. Do you have any advice for someone aspiring to become an actor?
I think I would say that you need to have another passion massively, like something, like for me it's music, but if I didn't have music, I've been playing the piano, so it was fine, but I would still have something else. Even if I didn't have a band, I'd still have something else, because if you just, it's very hard and it's very lonely, and sometimes you just don't get jobs, and you ring up and you're like, what am I doing? I don't know, what am I doing wrong? And it's like, no, the feedback's great, it's just, and it's not even about you. Like, apparently half the time, and I've been on the other side when I've cast people, and basically it's a bit like speed dating. As soon as the person walks in, it's pretty much like immediate, yes or no. You're in the yes or no pile, before you've even started saying anything. Because obviously they've got an image in their mind, so because of that constant rejection, it's really good to be obsessed with something else and have another, because otherwise they can smell desperation. Do you know what I mean? Like, the only way I can make an analogy of it is, imagine you're at a bar and this guy is trying to chat you up, right? And he wants to have sex with you. But you know, imagine that you know he only wants to have sex. He wants to have sex with any woman, not you, because he's desperate. Do you know what I mean? It's that difference, and it's like you've got to be careful because they can smell it. And it's like, oh, this person, you know, weird advice, but I hope it helps.
Is that what they teach in the Harry Potter?
Yeah. Yeah, Hogwarts.
Hey, I was wondering, for you personally, do you have any pets?
Yes! Oh, you're the rat people! Yeah! You know what, I know it! What's it called?
This one's Vincy. I've got 3 other boys.
I would love to, but I've got 2 cats.
Hold them.
Yes.
Okay.
Can I hold it? Is that allowed? Yeah, I've got 2 cats, unfortunately.
Have you had your shots?
A shot?
Yes, fine. He doesn't bodies.
Oh,
I've heard that before.
So cute. Yeah, I've got 2 cats, and also they used to breed a lot, so I've had like actually 32 cats. But I'm more of a dog and rat person. I don't know why I've got these fucking cats. But they're amazing. I do love them. Oh my god, it's amazing. What made you get a rat? Oh, you're so clean.
Really?
Clean. I'm gonna give it back to them. This is amazing. I'm so happy that you came today. That made my day. I've got a picture of that. I can't wait to show all my mates. Oh, does it like its own colour? Is that what it is? I'm sorry, honey. I've got to go take you away.
That is a massive.
Made my day.
He has the first. Holy shit. Respect.
Hi.
Hello.
I'm Ellen. I just want to know what scene in Harry Potter made you most feel like a wizard?
What scene that I did? Wand practice. We had wand practice. And I was like, this is what it's like in Hogwarts, isn't it? It's great, and it's like, they're kind of trying to learn the physicality, obviously, because if you're an adult, which I was, you don't need to say the spells, it's about how you flick unicorn. And we did a lot of that, and it was a bit like fencing, really, and it's great. I really enjoyed that bit.
Hi, what was it like working with the younger members of Harry Potter?
Oh, it was lovely. I mean, but I unfortunately, I didn't have many scenes with, like, them in Hogwarts and stuff. I had it more with kind of the adults and my husband. David Dillis, he's amazing. I loved hanging out with him. He made me laugh so much. He nearly got me into so much trouble before he started shooting. He just made me laugh. I was like tears streaming down my face, trying to look serious because Death Eater's coming. So yeah, I'd say that.
And is Jon Snow dead?
Next question.
No, he's a zombie Batman. That's what
If Tonks can change her nose, so I was wondering if you could change your nose into anything, what would it be?
A unicorn. Amazing. Would it? Maybe not. I don't know. I suppose cat noses are quite sexy. Are they? Are they? I don't know. A unicorn or a cat? That's a good question.
Hi, you're my friend's favourite Hufflepuff, by the way.
Oh, nice! So thank you.
Can you try your best impression of a Kiwi accent, and who is your best?
I can't do it. I can't even do Australian, and I used to watch like Neighbours when I was a kid. Well, I think I am actually quite bad at accents. What happens is I get an accent coach to just read very like neutrally all my scripts, and I listen to it like music, obsessively, and that's how I learn the accents. But I'm so bad. I don't even begin.
Okay, repeat after me. Fush and chumps.
Fush and chumps.
Fush and chumps.
Yeah, bro.
Cheer, bro. Hello, Jordan, bro.
Hi, having not read the Harry Potter books before you went for Harry Potter, what was it like doing Game of Thrones? Had you read them? Were you like super excited?
I was really excited and I really liked it, but I read the first book after I finished the first series, and I became so obsessed with it that I then went on tour with my band to Brazil, and I played the accordion, and I filled my accordion case with all the books that we've written so far, and one dress, and a bikini. And that was my luggage. And I read all of them. I can't wait for the next one. Yeah, so I kind of was already very obsessed. But by the time I started working on the second series, I was very excited. But I don't think anyone knew how big it was going to be, I think. So, it was kind of different when suddenly you're in season 3 and it's getting really scary doing scenes, because you're like, oh, a lot of responsibility,
Hi. I was just wondering, I was kind of disappointed because in Game of Thrones, your character kind of started to gain quite a bit of traction and then it just fell down. How do you feel about that?
Right?
What
do you mean, as in like she hasn't appeared for a while?
Well, like, she was kind of just unknown character as such, and then she started, trying to get up there a bit, but then...
Sorry, I don't understand, as in the book or in the...
Oh, in the TV series.
Yeah, what, that she started going somewhere and then it changed?
Yeah, right.
I mean, that's the nature of it though, isn't it? Yeah. Like, it's quite that's what's cool about the show, it's unexpected and it takes, it's so amazing that it does that. No one knows what's going to happen, you don't know what the character is, it's not predictable.
Yeah.
So I don't mind it.
And another question, could you see yourself being Cersei?
As a queen? If I was a queen.
Well, yes.
I mean, if I was a queen in real life, and I'd been put, she's had a really hard life. Do you know what I mean? She was made to marry some arsehole, who ignored her and had sex with loads of prostitutes. Do you know what I mean? Like, that must have been hard for her on a daily basis. I'd like to be that kind of character. That would be amazing. She does it so well, doesn't she?
Thank you.
Thank you.
On the internet, what's the most unusual thing you've seen of yourself?
I don't watch anything on the internet.
Okay.
Ever.
Because I imagine there's quite a few photoshops out there.
I know, I don't look at anything at all.
Fair enough. Don't blame you.
Was it hard filming? Was it hard finding the dimensions in Harry Potter?
It was hard. What was hard is obviously pretending to do all this stuff when it's not there. Do you know what I mean? Like I had to pretend to like fight this fire snake. It was invisible. And me and David Thewlis were like, it was like really cold. It was like 3 in the morning. We were outside the twins' house and we were like, okay. That was pretty tricky actually. But you know, David Thewlis helped me and we had a lot of fun. And you do eventually get into it by using your imagination.
Hi.
Hello.
I'm just wondering, with so many posters with different hair colours, I just wondered how many times you had to re-dye your hair.
They didn't dye it. They used wigs in the end because of the fact that they never knew what scene they were going to shoot, and if I had purple hair and then they had to switch, it would be more complicated. So what they did is they kind of, in the morning they put some wash through dye like in the front bit, and they put the wig on and they kind of make that so it kind of blended in really well. They were so good at wigs in Harry Potter. So yeah, it was unfortunately just mine.
Hi.
Hello.
I was just wondering, where you got your fanny pack from?
Say it again?
Where you got your fanny pack from?
But so this is an amazing woman called, like her thing's called State of Disarray, and she works in Tottenham and in India. Goes to India and gets like things, and she makes. I mean, I don't call it a fanny pack. I call it my kind of disco sporran, or my hands-free raving kit. It's great. And she does. I've got a liquid gold catsuit that goes with it. It's amazing. So yeah, State of Disarray. Check her out because she's got an online store and she's fantastic.
Hey Natalia.
Hi.
3 quick things. I don't know if you remember.
Yes, colombiano. Sí.
Yes. I told my sister you signed a picture to her and she started crying at 12 in the morning. So yeah, you're responsible.
I bet people cry, but yeah.
She was very happy. So 2 questions. 1, do you prefer Spanish over English or English over Spanish? And what was the most awkward thing you did on the Game of Thrones set?
Awkward.
Yes.
English Spanish is weird because I kind of feel very Spanish in London and very English in Spain because I've kind of I've got both sides, so it's very weird, kind of a little bit displaced. But I'd say I'm Spanish from the waist down. That's the only way I can describe it, really. I don't know if that makes sense. But awkward. I don't really get awkward. I mean, I sense it in other people, and I'm like, oh, something awkward is happening right now, isn't it? But I can't really remember. No, nothing comes to mind. I'm sorry, I can't. If you want another question, go ahead. I just can't think of anything that was awkward.
Then what was something that made everyone in the set uncomfortable? Something that you did that made everyone...
The cold.
Oh, okay.
No, I mean, it's you know, like we're in Belfast and we're in the forest and it's very, I mean, you know, you're filming sometimes in October, November. So once I was really lucky, we were filming in July and it was amazing. When I skinned the rabbits, it was really hot that day, I remember, which made the smell interesting. Yeah, the cold is hard, you know, I mean, because you're also kind of that costume, you can't really put on anything modern, so it is hard.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Hi.
Hello.
I'm just wondering what the atmosphere on the Harry Potter set was like.
It was very charged, there was a lot of people. It felt very kind of, you know, even though obviously it's a massive big thing, there was always, because there's kids involved, there's a lightness and a fun and a playfulness, you know? Especially because of the way the director gives you notes, you know, especially if he's giving notes to a group of you and that includes, you know, younger people, it's much nicer. They give you their notes in a different way and that's really lovely. So I think that, but there's always that sense of it. There is always that sense of this is a really beautiful, you know, we've got to get the details right, and that was definitely there.
Hello. Hi again. I was just wondering what or who was your inspiration to get into acting and or music?
Music just because I basically begged my mum for piano lessons from the age of 4. And my mum was like, because you know kids are fickle, they're like, oh, piano. And they change their mind about them. And so I begged her for a year. And she was like, no, this girl really wants to do it. You know, she was happy, she just wanted to test it, you know? So I started piano lessons from then, and I've always wanted to play music. With acting, it's a bit difficult because I loved it, and I love stories, and I love telling stories and all that stuff. But I didn't, you know what I mean, acting, I didn't understand it in the same way. It wasn't as kind of immediate. But then I went to a really amazing, incredible, I was so lucky, incredible kind of artistic school called Beadell's. And there they had a theatre, and I loved it, but I never thought it would be something I could make a living off. Do you know what I mean? I was like, I always play the weird supporting characters, and I was like, it's brilliant. And then I used to smoke a lot, and I used to get caught a lot, and they wouldn't let me go back to London on the weekends if you got caught smoking. And then if you got caught smoking, while you were punished, you know, that was bad. And I'd been nearly suspended, you know, I'd been suspended, nearly expelled a few times, and I had a cigarette in the drama department on a weekend, and the drama teacher was the one that found me, and he was like, I was like, please don't try anyone, and he really liked me. He was like, don't worry, just go into the barn, which is where we did drama, and in there was a room full of little kids that were like 10, and me, and I was like, are you joking? Am I babysitting? What is this? And I had dreads at the time and piercings, and I was like, and this lovely woman, who I now know, and she's a great casting director, gave me a script, and I was like, okay. And I read it, and it was about a boy. And that's how it was completely, that drama teacher, and I'm still friends with him, Almio, he's amazing. So just because this one drama teacher wanted to give me a chance and not get me punished, I got a job, it's amazing. Thank you.
I'm just a big fan, by the way. I was just wondering, what was it like filming the final scene in the Harry Potter movies? Like, you know, how it was all coming to an end, how did it feel for the entire cast?
I mean, unfortunately, I didn't really get a sense of it, because, like, you know, the scene that me and Lupin do, like, actually, that was just us on our own. And so for me, it was very kind of separate. It was like, oh, and that was actually my last day, but everyone thought I might be back in again. So there was no, like, celebration. It was like, but, you know, see you next week, maybe. You know, there wasn't even a proper farewell. But luckily, my band Molotov Jukebox played at the premiere. So that was awesome. So that was my way of saying goodbye. But I didn't feel that kind of, that I wasn't able to say goodbye to it like everyone else in a way.
Thank you.
Thank you. Hello.
Hi. My question is about Game of Thrones. So, what was your first actual scene on set? And what was it like in the forest when you actually got captured by Theon and Rob? Richard Madden and...
Yes! Yeah. No, thank you. I think that might have been my first scene, actually. Was it? It was either that one or with Christian when he's naked. No, it was that one. No, it was with Theon. It was great. I remember just getting there before, and we had like a bit of some fight training because I had a club, and I remember like Rob had like some padding, but it's like I think I missed it once. But it was, do you know what I mean? But it was really nice in the direct. You know, at that point there wasn't all that pressure on it in the same way. So it was a fun set. It was a fun set to work on that day, and you know the director would keep coming up to me because I said I thought my character would be like a dirty raccoon. She was an animal, and you know occasionally be like, remember you're a raccoon. And so I quite enjoyed that.
Hi. I was wondering, on the Harry Potter set, have you ever been involved in or known of any pranks that have been played between the cast?
Yeah, people ask me. I no. Maybe that was more for the kids that they did that. Obviously, they were growing up together, and I came in quite late. Do you know what I mean? And I'd kind of come in for random days, so it wasn't the same sense like them because they had school there. Like on set, they had a little school, so and to keep up with their education. So I think it was a bit different for me than for them, unfortunately. Sorry, that doesn't answer your question. Sorry.
Yeah, there's a question again of Game of Thrones. Now, I don't know when your character, Osha, will be appearing again, but assuming Jon Snow does survive, would you like to see his character and Osha get it on?
Yeah! All right. Thank you. write a letter and see if we can make it happen. Amazing. Yeah, why not? Thank you.
I might just jump in here with a quick question. What can you tell us about Survival International? Survive International?
Yeah.
What can you tell us about it?
Survival International. Oh, it's an amazing charity that helps one of my best friends from school. She's amazing. Works there, and it basically helps. They fight against governments trying to take Indigenous people's land. And she knows how to speak Spanish, so she goes often to South America to try and stop this. But she finds it really hard because a lot of the time the people that work for these charities can't actually have contact with the tribes because they can't. We probably kill them with any of our diseases. So it's a hard job, but it is rewarding. They do lose a lot of battles, obviously, because governments have money, but it's so important they're there. And now I'm speaking about survival, actually. You guys should also check out Womankind. It's an incredible charity. So we only managed to do our album, the next album, Tropical Gypsy, because it was crowdfunded, so all our fans helped us. Amazing. And a percentage of every pledge goes to Womankind, and it's a charity that tries to deal with the worst affected areas of the way that women are still discriminated horrifically across the world. I mean, just unacceptably. So that's amazing. That you guys should check out. They really do great work. Anyway, sorry.
I was just wondering, this is like out of the blue, but because I know you smoke, or you said you were smoking, would you swap tobacco for marijuana to be legalized?
I don't smoke weed.
But I was just your opinion.
I mean, I smoke an electric pipe now. I've stopped smoking. I mean, as a smoker, I'd say that I'm happy with the way things are, obviously, because I'd hate for this to be illegal, because I use it all day, every day. So I'd say nicotine.
Okay, thank you.
Hi. As a book reader of Game of Thrones, how do you feel about the changes that have been made to the TV show?
Well, actually, I think they've done really well. I think what they've done is they've incorporated a lot of storylines to kind of meld it with other characters. Because basically, if you read the book, there's just so many characters, and somehow your brain can deal with it. But if you do that on a show, people lose interest, or you don't. Like, whoa, people don't follow it and they lose interest. But I think they've done it really well, and actually, I know that there were comments about, oh, it's not like books, but they're also melding bits of the book, not just characters. I think it's really well done. I think it's amazing.
Thank you.
Hello. Hi. I was wondering, you played in a movie that was filmed on a festival?
Yes.
And you were handcuffed to a guy?
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't remember the title.
You Instead.
That one. I was wondering, what was it like to film that? Because apparently it was filmed during the festival and on like 4 days, so it's crazy.
Was mental. It was a festival called Team Park, and in the north, in Scotland, and we had 3 weeks to rehearse and write the music. So I co-wrote the music for my band, this fake band in it, called the Dirty Pinks. It's pretty cool. It's kind of like femme rock, and it's really fun to write. So we had 3 weeks to do that, or 2 weeks, and we rehearsed it a lot. Because once you're in this festival, it's like one of the rowdiest festivals in England. And like, we didn't sleep. I mean, I slept like maybe an hour or 2 a night, intense there. It felt like we'd gone to war, you know, like, it was amazing as well, because the characters, the hard thing was that obviously when people saw a camera and you're doing a scene, someone would come in front of you like, Mom! Love you, Mom! You know what I mean? And it's like, wow, it took we had to do so many takes, and it was hard. And like sometimes, like one of the runners, like I was trying to do a crowd, I was trying to crowd surf as part of the thing. And one of the runners was trying to help me out, and some guy just like pissed in a cup and threw it at him. You know, and it's like, so there was a lot of like things that we had to try and work with that were hard, but it was so rewarding and it was amazing, and we all bonded so much over it, and I laughed a lot.
I can imagine.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you.
Oh, hello. What do you want to know?
What's your favourite person in Game of Thrones?
My favourite person. That's amazing. My favourite person. Can my favourite person be a dragon? A dragon. One of the dragons. Is that it? Oh, there's one more behind you. Oh no, you want to ask another one? Hello.
Hello, this is a question about Harry Potter. What are your views on House Slytherin?
Yeah. I mean, in general, I think what it is I don't really like the house division anyway. I know it might be sacrilegious to say that, but I think that's a bit weird, isn't it? Because it's like you're basically pigeonholing people into stereotypes, which I don't think is actually a good thing to do at schools. But I suppose it kind of gives people kind of morale and a sense of teamship. But I mean, I think everyone's got a bit of Slytherin in them. Do you know what I mean? And Gryffindor and all of it. So I find it strange that they created that, but it works. We all love Harry Potter, right? Yeah?
G'day.
Hello.
Hi. So, same question, but about Game of Thrones houses. So, because you're more born into that, you don't really have a choice.
Yeah, that's true. Okay. I would go for the kind of the southern one, the one that Keisha's in. What's that one?
Yeah.
Those ones. I just love their vibe, man. And they're in hot countries. It's hot there. They're not cold.
Badass woman.
The women are strong. They're my favourite, definitely. I hope they get somewhere. I hope they get the crown. Why not?
Anyone?
Yeah, I know, right? It's like.
So Natalia, your music definitely has a Latin feel to it. Who were some of your musical inspirations growing up?
Someone is dying behind here.
Oh, it's the zombie yelling. They're not actually behind it, they're underneath the stage.
What is happening?
Well, they ask bad questions.
Sorry.
Like, which house do you like best?
My musical. I don't really know. What growing up?
Or even now?
Nina Simone. I love Nina Simone growing up. Etta James, Carla Thomas. I mean, I think Amy Winehouse was an inspiration to everyone. Like at that time, you know what I mean? Like she was groundbreakingly amazing. I love Go Bordello as well. They're great. Yeah, that kind of vibe. Oh, hello.
Who's your OTP in the Harry Potter fandom?
Who's my what?
OTP, one true pairing.
I don't know what that means.
It's one true pairing, it's your biggest shit.
Biggest shit?
I don't know, a favourite person that you would be coupled with?
Oh, like who I want to go out with?
No, like a ship is like when you
A boat.
put two people in a relationship.
Oh, so any form of relationship, platonic or romantic?
Still non-platonic.
Not.
So are you saying who would I put together in Harry Potter?
Yeah.
Oh, right. That took fucking ages, didn't it?
And can we make it from, say, the 5th book onwards? Otherwise it's just wrong.
Yeah.
Hermione and Snape, no. You're going down under the stage soon.
I don't know. I'm not really good at this. Dumbledore. Absolutely. You know what? They loved each other along, man. Bromance was strong there.
Dumbledore.
Yeah, why not? Hello.
I know how you said that you missed your friend's play to read the 7th book. How did you feel when you find out what happened to Tonks?
I just hoped I had a really good death scene. I think most actors like yes, and I lasted till the end, which is good. I was just hoping to get a really cool death scene, maybe on a broom. And I was wondering if I'd have a big pregnant belly as well. They didn't do it, but that would have been cool.
Did you want to thank JK, or did you kind of
Say it again, sorry?
Did Did you want to thank JK, or did you like that was mean?
I didn't think of it either way, really. It was just part of the story. I mean, obviously everyone should want to thank her because she's amazing. Generally. So maybe just thank her. Hello. Again?
Hi again. I was also wondering with the movie about the festival, what was it like? You were handcuffed to the other actor the whole time while in the movie. What was that like? And did they sometimes just leave you guys handcuffed together?
No, I mean,
they stopped filming.
Well, no, there was no time to be out of cuffs. It wasn't like normal filming. We literally we were on our feet the whole day, going from scene to scene. So we finished scene, then we'd have to go somewhere else. You know, so most of the time we were handcuffed.
Well, wasn't that awkward, just being stuck together the whole time?
Not really. I mean, most of the time you are kind of pretty close to the person you're acting with. You know what I mean? So it was a bit weird, like. But no, I mean, we were just struggling so hard to get through it that was kind of the least of our worries, in a way, if that makes sense.
Did you have a custom-made porta potty so you could keep your arm out?
Say it again?
Did you guys have a custom-made porta potty so that you could still be...
Porta potties?
A toilet, so you could...
Oh no, what we
while
did
you were
in
still
fact,
handcuffed.
no, what we did, because we had to keep moving so much, is that a lot of time we did piss circles. So like some of the other cars would like go around you and you just squat and then we had to go. So there wasn't time sometimes to liberate.
And that wasn't awkward?
No.
Acting is such a glamorous career.
Hello. Oh, is that your munchkin? Oh, right. Well, there it is. Hello.
I just want to know, just before you got cast in Harry Potter, obviously before all the hype escalated, how's the years progressed? How did you feel? Were you able to cope with all the hysteria and back going to all the conventions and leading up to the end of the series?
Oh, for the Harry Potter one?
Yeah.
Well, because the thing is, I was such a small character that it's like it didn't really affect me in the same way that maybe. I mean, it affected me massively, like for prospective jobs, like getting amazing, different, better, or auditions and interesting scripts. But because I was such a small character, it's fine. It didn't really. Do you know what I mean? I wasn't really affected by it on a personal level, in that, you know what I mean, on a day-to-day thing. Apart from when I'm with you guys, and it's amazing, but it's not like, I don't know, it's not invasive. You know what I mean? Like, if you're a much bigger character, every time you maybe go and get some milk, someone's harassing you, you know? So that's different.
Hi again. I was just wondering how you felt about Teddy Lupin hardly being mentioned in the movies.
I didn't really mind it. I didn't miss it. Did you guys? Oh. Yeah, like I said, I would have liked to have had a pregnant bum on a broomstick. I thought that would have been cool, but no, I didn't miss it. It would have been nice, and I'm sure, if it was there, I would have loved it, but it's not something that I thought about missing. Hello.
Lots of people didn't like how Ron and Hermione married each other. What are your thoughts on that?
Amazing. I mean, I think it's inevitable. I think you can kind of see that they're going to get it on even when they're very little. There's going to be something there, I think it's cool. Why not? Love's love. I love. Again?
Sorry, it's another house question. What do you think about the stereotype that with the sorting hat, if you're put into Gryffindor, it's pretty much saying you're a good kid, and if you're put into Slytherin, it's pretty much the sorting hat saying you're a bad kid?
Yeah, that's what I mean. I think it's bad. I don't like it. Like I answered before, I don't think it's a good idea. But I mean, it works as a tool to tell a great story,
Yeah.
Thank you.
Hi.
Sorry.
Similar to an earlier question, would you have any advice for someone wanting to get into the music business and write music and things like that?
Basically, it's firstly, practice a lot. Really practice a lot. But it's basically finding your team, your dream team. You know, if you want to do it as a band. I mean, it depends what kind of music. If you're going to be, I don't know, in a brass band, like my trumpet player has loads of brass bands as well, then you just practice loads and you find little pockets of people that do that. But I think if you're going to do a band like in the sense of like that festival thing, it's really, really hard. I mean, you spend a lot of years doing a lot of gigs for free, and you've got to expect that in a way, because you have to kind of earn, you know, you've got to earn it. People have got to like get to know you and the band, but it's your team. Like we've had like 18 different band members that have come and gone for different reasons, like sometimes them, sometimes us. And now we've got that dream, for me anyway, dream team. That doesn't mean we don't argue. We argue a lot. But there's a lot of love there and a musical understanding. So I'd say that.
Hi.
Hello.
Was there a line or lines that you've had to say before that you really liked? And part two of that question, could you say them for us?
Huh?
Was there like a line that you've said before in a movie that you really liked, and could you say it for us?
I could literally, I'm so sorry, but I can't remember anything.
Oh, I'm just bumbling.
Oh, no, not you, as in I can't remember anything.
Oh, I thought you meant that.
No, like usually when I do stuff, I then maybe when I watch it back again, but I can't remember, like it just goes. I mean, it's like you study it so hard and then it's like you let it go, it's done. I mean, if I sat down and watched something I'd just done, which I don't like doing very much anyway, but if I did, then maybe I could tell you from that particular thing, but I'm so sorry.
Thank you anyway.
Thank you for asking.
So we know that Coach JK is doing The Cursed Child. Are you excited about it, and are you going to go see it?
About what, sorry?
The Cursed Child. So she's extending the Harry Potter series.
Oh, yeah, it might be amazing, right? I mean, I heard about it at a convention I did in Canada. I don't really know much about it, but I'm sure it's going to be amazing. Are you excited? You are.
Yeah, a couple of questions. First one's to do with Game of Thrones again, the second one's a musical one.
Okay.
In regards to Game of Thrones, not what's in the books, but I assume you've been watching a TV series. Are there any particular plot lines, developments you want to see happen and why? And as for the musical question, is there any particular, big time singer, perhaps someone that inspired you you'd like to perform with?
Plot lines. Plot lines. I'd like to develop. I mean, I just love watching anything with Tyrion in it, really. And I want to see where Arya's character, Arya, thank you. Her character goes and how that develops. Musically. I mean, I went last night to see Fat Freddy's Drop. That was amazing. I would love to perform with them. That would make me a very happy woman. Another great band is Monsieur Paris. They're a Mexican band that are sick. Jenny and the Mexicats, they're pretty good as well. Yeah, there's quite a few. Gogo Bordello, obviously. Hello.
Hi. So if you could have these two as a pet, which would you prefer, a dragon or a direwolf?
I mean, who doesn't want fire-breathing, flying pet? I think I'd definitely go for that one. And because the thing is, if you want something furry, you could just buy a fur pelt, and you can sit on it and be like really furry and nice as well. If you wanted to, just for Halloween or something, I don't know. Or you dress up a dragon. But...
Hi. Well, I'm so
Hello, sorry.
First of all, you're one of my favorite characters in the Harry Potter movies.
Thank you.
And secondly, this is such a random question, but I was wondering if you can sing the Game of Thrones exciting sequence song. You have to be loud so everyone can join in.
You do it, you do it.
Thank you.
Thank you. Good boys, why not? Is that it? Are we done?
We've got time for one more question if someone's got a question for
yes.
Did you feel any pressure, like from going from the books to TV or in movies with Harry Potter and Game of Thrones?
Yeah, I didn't feel that much with the Harry Potter one as much because I had read the books, but I didn't realise how big really the film was till I went to the premiere.
Yeah.
But I think with Game of Thrones, it did get scarier. Like, by the third one. I mean, I always suffer severe insomnia when I film anyway. But by the season 3, I was really losing my mind. Because it's like, you feel really responsible and you don't want to let it down, like team down, I don't know, the whole crew, you know?
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you everyone for bothering to ask questions and bothering to listen. It's really sweet of you.
Also, to show your appreciation for the garden dinner. Don't forget to check your schedule for the photo and autograph sessions. And make sure you buy your tickets for, I'm sure, a pending tour by Holland's Jukebox in the near future. Stick around, we've got a supernatural panel coming up.